There's not many people that I call on. This brother right here is one of those people. Joe Rodriguez. How you doing, buddy?
What's up, bro? Football time, bro.
Yeah, man, it's definitely football time. Monday Night Football is on, but we don't care about the stinky Giants. We already beat them. Joe, how? First of all, let's do a check in. Um, I don't feel like we've checked in a while, so just personally, before we get to football, how are you doing, brother?
Everything's good, man. Future's looking good. Personal life is going well, and
Mhm.
football season. We waited months for it. We got through the draft, and here we are, man. Cowboys sitting at 2-1. Not too bad.
Not too bad, Joe. To me, and I'm doing well, by the way. Had a great weekend. Obviously, it's even a better weekend when the Cowboys win. We see some people getting in here, so that's always a good thing. Shout out to Travis. Shout out to Mr. Jab. Shout out to King Marquise, man. That's my guy. He always shows me love, and I'm thankful for that dude. Joe, what a great win. But who are the Dallas Cowboys? Like, we're just gonna jump right into it. Okay, no, you know what? Let me do this before we jump into, because I kind of recap the win. But it doesn't feel like this team is like, can we get high? Can we get low? How did you feel about yesterday? Are you feeling better from the Arizona debacle? Because let's be honest, it 100% was a debacle. Are you feeling better from that? Or like, how do you feel about these Dallas Cowboys? First, talk about yesterday, and then talk about moving forward. Like, how do you feel?
To me, honestly, bro, it just feels like the same. Cowboys, Doctor Jekyll, Mister Hyde type of thing. Like
Okay.
which mask are we gonna come out of this game with? Um, this team, New England, they look like they're gonna be a bad team. So these are the teams that you should mop up. I'm glad that the Cowboys did mop them up. So that you should do. It didn't make the week before feel any better. It made it feel worse.
Yeah.
But you did what you had to do. You had to beat this bad team. I thought New England would have had a better outing. To be honest, I thought defensively they would have played better. I thought they would have had a little bit more success on offense. But props to our boys, man. They really showed up. They say the Cowboys are 9-1 after a loss like this. That's good.
That
That
is
means that
good. That's a great nugget, Joe.
they're able to bounce back, mentally. We talk about mentally is the mental aspect of the game is a large part of the game. So Cowboys bounced back in all phases, man. I love what I saw, man. The only thing that I'm still wanting more of because I'm a greedy fan. I want touchdowns in the red zone. I want more of them. You got to have them at the end of the year. So we'll see about that, man. But good game, bro. Good game.
So, Joe, who to you surprised you? I got a couple people that I really liked on film, but I want to get your thoughts. And then I'll go. I thought I'll give you a chance to think about it because this is live. We're just talking ball here. Um, I thought that Tyler Smith and Mozzie Smith played really. The Smith and Smith brothers played really good,
Mm,
both sides of the football, right, Joe?
there you go.
You bring in Tyler Smith at guard, and now me and Joe are proponents of, and even the Cowboys uppers have said Tyler Smith is your future left tackle. They've said that, but I gotta say, Joe, and I'm not one who has too much pride. He looked really good at guard, Joe. I mean, that was all pro tape that I just covered. As far as passing off stunts, as far as strength, you just once he gets his hands on you, like one thing that I saw on film, once he gets his hands on you, Joe, it's over. Like you can forget it. You're not gonna bull rush this guy. His leverage is impeccable. I think the only thing that you could probably nitpick with Tyler Smith is his footwork, excuse me. But inside, he's working in a more condensed area. So, it kind of is what it is. Um, so to me, you know, I can honestly say that, Tyler Smith, dare I say, anchored this line yesterday. And then Mozzie Smith, a lot of his stuff was hidden, right, Joe? So when I say it's hidden, you don't see the tackles. But what do you see, Joe? You see him resetting the edge. You know, New England, they run the ball like that's what they want to do, and they were pretty good at it. Zeke had a good game last week, and so I thought that Mozzie Smith surprised me, and I thought that Tyler Smith surprised you. Who looked good to you, Joe, in the game?
Yeah, you hit on right on the head, man. I was gonna say Mozzie Smith because
Mm-hmm.
to me, he did stand out in this game. I saw
Yeah.
him. I saw him around the ball. I saw him making plays, pushing the pile. He was very active. You know what I mean? Other games, I was kind of like, did he even play? You know, this one, he stood out. I was like, there's our boy. There's our first round pick. He's making some plays here, bro. So by far, this was his best game. You know, I know he's had plays in the other two games, but this one, I think he stepped it up, man. So he looked good, you know, and I think that's a good sign for him, you know, to be more effective at the point of attack,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and he had a good game, man. He surprised me. I was like, oh, there he is. There's our first round pick, man.
Yeah.
So I loved it, man. I loved what I saw from him in this game, and I want to see more of that.
Joe, you hit it on the head. To you, what is the problem in the red zone? And I want to say this. We're gonna talk about this for a second and then we're out of it. So I don't want to dwell on the red zone issues because I think that they will get fixed. But just what you've seen so far, like what is to you the issue in the red zone? Like, is it just them getting this offense together? It's a new vibe with Mike McCarthy. Is it something as simple as Luke Schoonmaker just catching that back shoulder fade? I mean, that was nice. That was a good throw by Dak. That was excellent ball placement. I like the fact that Dallas attacked the seams because that's
Yeah.
the one thing in this offense that I want Dallas to do more, not even just the red area, but all throughout the field. Let's attack the seams. I know you want to get to the flats and play time in football, but let's attack the seams. So, Joe, to you, what is the problem in the red area?
Um, I think it's your pass catchers. Not I
Mm-hmm.
don't, and I'm not saying Lamb, but I'm saying for whatever reason, you know, it's maybe the way they're scripting it down there. Obviously, you know, you always hear about the field shrinks in the red zone, right? So you got the defense has a better chance to slow you down, but still, you know, where's Gallup? Where's Cooks? Um, Tolbert? It can't just be Lamb, you know what I mean? And that's what they're doing. They're bracketing Lamb in the red zone, and it's hard for them to get for him to get his touchdowns right now. We gotta have something different, man. And I've been calling for Hunter Lukey and to be more a part of this, you know, to grind it away and be a more of a physical part of the running game. You know, ram it down their throats. You know, you use him in the passing game. You know, he's got that skill set. So I think it's a personnel. You know, finding the right guys to be on the field for these plays. You know what I mean? It can't be Deuce Vaughn. All right. Pass protection of Deuce Vaughn, he's gonna cost you, bro. He can't do it. He can't do it. I love the story, bro. I
I
love the
do.
story, but
Yeah.
it ain't
In
it,
the red
man.
in the red zone, it's enough for Deuce Vaughn.
No. You can't have him there, bro.
Yeah.
Unless you're gonna give him the ball in there,
Yeah.
but they're not doing that. So I mean, for me, it's personnel. I think receiver is gonna be at the top of the Cowboys draft this upcoming
Yeah.
offseason.
Yeah.
Got to give Lamb a bona fide number two. We're still looking for it.
So Joe, it's crazy. I do think that CD and I think that by year three, Tolbert will be your certified 3 option. But I'm with you. Like, if you could hit on a Zay Flowers type of an athlete, right? If you could hit on a guy who just comes in and just takes more pressure off of CD. I do like what Gallup has been doing. I actually love what Gallup has been doing, right, Joe? But I think if we can get one more weapon, maybe a taller athlete at receiver, a
Yeah,
bigger body at receiver, I think that would be really, really awesome. But I get what you're saying. But
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I loved your point about Deuce Vaughn. It's you don't want to play that game to where you're just like trying stuff out. Now, let me ask you this, Joe. Hunter Lukey,
Yeah. There we
thoughts?
go. You got to use him. Got
Yeah.
to use him more. I think you saw what he could do for him. He was the red zone spark there, right? You know, if they don't feel Tony Pollard can muscle his way in there, which I think the
Hmm.
speed he can, but if they don't feel that he can, use the muscle, man. Use the power. Use Hunter. That's why you kept him on the team. That's why he made it, and another guy didn't make it. They kept him because they saw something in him. So time to utilize him some more. You know, give him the ball and let him muscle his way in there.
I want to go a step further, Joe. Um, I want to see Hunter more than these tight ends. Um, Not all of them, right? But if it's me, I kind of like Hunter more than I like Peyton Hendershot. I just trust him. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't trust Peyton Hendershot.
I don't know. Hinder drop is down. He's way down on the depth chart right now. They elevated McEwen. I think they've had enough of him, bro.
That's a great point, Joe. Joe,
Yeah.
talk about that. You know, me and you haven't kind of talked since Arizona and since, a few more situations. But hey, Joe, like, you know, I just think that the Cowboys looked at Schultz and Cowboys fans looked at Schultz and were like, oh, you know, we're okay without him. And it's like, no, like this guy was a good safety blanket for Dak. He was reliable in the red area. Now, I'll say this. I did like what I saw ability wise from Schoonmaker to go up and kind of high point the ball. He just couldn't come down with it. And I
Yeah.
I love Schoonmaker as a blocker and at the point of attack. And a lot of people will sit on this live stream and on Twitter and all these places and say Ferg, Ferg, Ferg. And hey, Big Dow 86, this isn't a shot at you, but I'm shooting. Pow, pow, pow. Listen, we've seen Fergie make some mistakes. Like, I gotta call a spade, Joe. Fergie has made some mistakes.
Yeah,
So
yeah. It's I think what you're seeing from Ferguson is this is like his de facto rookie season. You know what I mean? So Schultz is gone. They pass the torch to him. So now, you're seeing some of those rookie type of issues. But I think you're set there with your number one and number two. You know what I mean? With Ferguson and Schoonmaker. Schoonmaker, I think, has some more potential. To be well rounded. To be a guy that you want to use in the red zone. And McCarthy has been known to use these tall tight ends in the red zone. So hopefully they'll start working him in there some more, and we can see some touchdowns from these guys.
yeah, like to me, bro, I think just play action. Let's get Hunter to the flats. He just has a certain juice and pop that I really, really like. I like the
Yeah.
way Gallup's playing. If you can get him high point situations, I think that Cooks is going to be a 20-20 guy. Cooks has been a nice piece. I don't know if he is like Cooks has been nice, and I think you'll really see who Cooks is versus San Francisco, because the truth is Dallas had like 3 possessions cut because of turnovers and scores. So you didn't really they didn't have a ball that much. So we'll get to see that. But to me, and some of this could be gamesmanship and Dallas saying, hey, we're gonna save some of our best stuff for who? We're gonna save some of our best stuff for San Fran, for Philly. I'll tell you this, and we'll get back to the Cowboys in a second. I watched a lot of San Francisco. I watched a lot of Philly. To me, right now, there are 2 top echelon teams in the NFC, and that's the Cowboys and that's San Francisco. I think that Philly's defense and that secondary is so bad, Joe. Like, I think Cowboys fans will really get to see how good our receivers are when we play Philly, because their secondary is bad. And everybody talks about Jalen Carter, all these guys on that defense. Sam Howell threw for 3 something. Mac Jones threw for 3 something. Kirk Cousins threw for 3 something. That's a scary way to play. It's okay now, but it can be your Achilles heel after a while. So I think if you're talking about just complete teams, I think you're talking about San Francisco. Dallas did have the slip up, so you would have to put Dallas below San Fran right now. Now you go out there and beat them, and it looks different. But so anyway, Um, Joe, putting a bow on this game. I mean, it's kind of hard to argue with 38-3, Joe.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, was there anything that you didn't like outside of the red zone, or?
Everything was good, bro. I like the I like the win. It was a solid win against a bad team. You're like I said, you're supposed to mop them up. This definitely should have been the score.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? I did I did think the Patriots were going to put up a little bit better of a fight, but they're in trouble. They don't have a quarterback. Mac Jones is not the answer there. They're going to go probably to Zappy back. This is going to be a back and forth there. So they're in trouble there. They've never been good at drafting. He's not Bill Parcells. Parcells had an eye for talent. Belichick does not. They're struggling there with drafting wide receivers. They can't find them ever, bro. They're probably gonna go get Amari Cooper in the draft or free agency, or they're gonna have to find a free agent wide receiver. You know. So, but anyway, we whooped that ass, bro. Here we go. We whipped that ass. I love it, bro.
It's so funny that people are just catching on to Dak's cadence. He's been doing that since last year. Here we
Yeah.
go.
Yeah. He's been doing it since the beginning of the season, as far as I know. But they
He
really
he, d-
mentioned it on the telecast yesterday.
he
Shit
did
was
it
funny,
last
bro.
year. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was hilarious. Here we go. Oh, okay. Moving right along, Joe. So this defense, I want to stay just here for a second, tap on the defense, and then we'll moving right along, baby. Joe, is this defense good enough to carry this to San Francisco?
Man, they are, bro. They really are. But when they have an off game, it's an off game by the whole damn crew, bro. I don't know. I'm really curious, and this is what I think happened, bro. I think in that game they knew ahead of time that our all these starting offensive linemen were not going to play, and I think they dialed it back. Like, well, fuck, man, why am I going to give it 100%? All these starting old linemen are out. That's the only thing I can think of because they were atrocious, bro. Outside of that, though, if you get a repeat performance of the Giants game, this game here with the Patriots, they can carry the team, bro. Um, and defense wins. We've seen special defenses carry the team. The Ravens. The Bears. I mean, there's several of these teams that have had really big defensive squads that really carry them into the playoffs. It could happen.
Yeah, and I'll be honest with you. I think that you know, to me, if Micah can because people are looking at Micah's stat line and probably say, "Oh, he didn't do much," but I love the way he played. He's around the quarterback. The pressures look really, really good. If Micah can continue to, put on a performance like he's been doing, I think that you'll have a shot to be in any game. Um, you know, I want to see Dallas just carry this momentum and this vibe into the San Francisco game. What I mean by that is, hey, hey, Bland, you might get beat a few times, but I also think that Bland will make plays, right? And I want to see him take chances. Like I don't want to see a soft game, and we're not gonna do a deep dive just yet. I'm gonna go finish. I was watching, so I watched some of the Arizona game live, and obviously Christian McCaffrey had his way, and he's been having his way. But I want to do a deep dive, but just to me, like when I really look at it, Joe, I think that I just want the Cowboys to play football in a way that's like, hey, we're gonna take chances, we're gonna take the fight to them, and we're gonna punch on them. I'll tell you something else, Joe. I want to see Marquise Bell on the football field. His speed, his physicalness, his finish. I want to see Bell on the football field. What are your thoughts on that, Joe?
Yeah, Bell's been looking good, man. I think that's part of the reason why they let go of Devin Harper. They said, well, we're not gonna miss a step here. We got Marcus Bell here, who's your linebacker slash safety kind of guy, right? So good player. earned his way onto the team. You know, this is like his second or third year now.
Yeah.
So it's a good compliment. Package player. You've got him in here. He can relieve some of these guys. And be effective. It's not just a guy who's going to come in and he's not going to do anything. When he's in there, he's going to be around the ball. So I like that about him, and he's a good piece of the puzzle. Until we get Overshown back next year, I think you got some guys that are filling the role right now. You know.
Yeah, nah, and I completely, you know what I mean. I'll be honest with you, like I completely agree with you. Um, and to me, I just think that they look faster on film. Like when I see the ball spill to the flats, and I'm just watching LVE chase somebody, I'm just like, he's not gonna make it. You know what I mean? Like, and this isn't
Mhm.
a knock on Layden. I think that Layden had a rough week on Twitter last week, but
No, yeah.
I just look at Bell and I just say, I don't know if he's gonna get there, Joe.
Hmm.
Um, let's answer D Chavez. If Blanky's balling out, you give Diggs the bag. Do you give Diggs the bag who might need him to be? I don't know. I don't understand this question. If Blanky's balling out, do you give Diggs the bag who might need 2 years to be 100%? Um, I mean, Diggs. I don't know if you're talking about Diggs already being paid. D Chavez. Thank you for the question. I mean, Diggs is already paid, so he's good. Um, I mean, Bland has been really good. I don't know. I don't. I mean, we're not talking about paying him just quite yet. Um, but he's been good. I mean, I would say he's been better than what Anthony Brown was for the Cowboys. Joe, what about? Do you think that or?
I think he's been better than Gilmore. So for me, it would be let's see what Diggs looks like in next season, and Diggs is going to put his whole heart into it. He's not. I'm not worried about him. He's not a Lyle Collins kind of guy. This guy's going to put the effort. He's going to come back stronger than ever. Then you can open up. Do you want to re-sign Gilmore? Or do you want to let him walk? If not, you're good there with Bland. He can play on the outside. They cross trained him, and he's looking really good, man. I mean, he's playing really really good, sound football right now.
Nah, yeah, I can. Man, listen, I completely agree. You know, Gilmore. What is your thoughts been on Gilmore, Joe?
I think that Gilmore is a good piece to a number one, but now with
Mhm.
Diggs gone, they're gonna go after him. They're gonna expose him. The speed isn't there. That's really the only thing that'll get him. His catch up speed's not there anymore. Um, that's it. You put a fast guy on him. You put him. You make him run across the field. He's gonna get beat. So it's I think he's going to be okay. You know what I mean? I don't think he's going to be a liability. He's definitely way better than Anthony Brown. So I think Gilmore is good enough right now. But if you want to get better, you can get better there. Whether it be a draft pick or if you want to go ahead and pass the reins to Ron Bland next season and have him and Diggs be the two guys, let's rock, bro. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I like that vibe. Um, it'll be interesting. I'll say this. You know, Dallas could draft a corner, Joe. Depending on who's available. I was thinking about that. Like, I mean, yeah, that's a fact, April. Let's put this on the screen. Everybody give Joe a clap emoji. I know numbers are a little light right now because everybody's probably watching um, Monday Night Football, but let's give Joe a clap emoji. Listen, the Cowboys have been known to do stuff like this because they're always going to stay prepared, right? And so, as good as Trevon Diggs has been, this is a season-ending injury. We don't know how he's going to come back. Now, we hope he comes back and is great. But you're looking at Tre'Davious White. He's now, I think this is second or third season-ending injury
Yeah.
for the Bills. they had to address corner in the draft because you just don't know. Some guys have those injuries, and it's like, what can you do, Joe? So that's that's a good point. And I think, like I told somebody, linebacker, guard, or tackle, receiver, corner is where I'm going. I don't know about running back, but that's where I'm going in the draft. Um for sure. And looking at it. Okay, Joe, to you, is there anything else that you want to talk about? I didn't want to get too deep into the San Francisco game. I definitely want to save that for this week and let you hit it and let other people hit it. But Joe, is there any other things putting a bow on this? I think that the Cowboys have what it takes to beat. Actually, I know the Cowboys have what it takes to beat um, the Niners, and we'll get into it. But to you, Joe, is there any other things that you want to get into? Because it's the truth is this, right? It's so hard to get too high with this football team
Hmm.
because it's just hard, man. Like we don't, I can't go crazy because what happens? They do something like what they did against Arizona. Ooh, somebody made a good point. I like this. Tavis says activate Izzy this week. I completely agree. But they do something like what they did against Arizona. So, Joe, is there anything else that you want to talk about this week?
I think a low key concern to me is the running back depth. Rico Dotto is out with the hip. Um, and I actually didn't get a chance to see what the latest update was on that. But if he's gonna miss significant time, you're gonna have to elevate Malik Davis. Probably even sign another free agent off the street to fill that running back void because we saw what happened with the Cowboys in the playoffs. Pollard was out, and the team just couldn't recover from it. I almost feel that the offense is still in the same position. If you lose Pollard, you're fucked, bro. You really really are, man. We don't have
Juice.
we don't have the juice behind there. We really really don't. So that kind of low key scares me there. What are they gonna do there? You know, I like what Rico was doing, man. He was looking the part. He was looking really good this season, and shout out his durability looked better. But here we go again. He's hurt again. He already hurt the hip, so I am. I'm interested to see what moves they do there, Foots. What do
Yeah.
you feel about the running back depth right now?
Whew, you know, I mean, somebody kind of said it. I think that there's two things you can do. You can look at Hunter Lukey and you can say, do we start giving him more deep back situations, right? And then, or you can sign a guy, but who, right, Joe? Like, who on the streets is just walking around? Or you can figure out situations that you run maybe some Turpin. Um, you run uh um who's that you run Deuce in spots, but he's small, and like it showed yesterday like why he's a 6th round pick because he's just little.
Yeah,
And I mean, like, if he doesn't have a head of steam, like, he just goes down on first contact. I mean, it's just it's times where I'm just like, Deuce can hit it, and then it's times I'm like, dang, like he's just to the ground.
yeah.
Um, so it's really tough, Joe. I mean, you're holding and praying that Tony doesn't get hurt, Joe. That's all I can say. Like I honestly, that it sounds probably like I'm rambling, but I literally have no answer.
Yeah, last thing I saw was it was a bruised hip. I think you can recover from that, but he probably won't play this week. Rico won't. If that's all it is, maybe
He
he'll be
runs
ready.
hard, Joe.
I mean, he looks really good. I like the way he runs. It's just always been durability with him, but that's still my concern here. And I think the Cowboys will probably address that in the offseason, whether they re-sign Pollard or add another guy. I think they did really good with the 1-2 punch with Rico and Zeke. So maybe they're gonna go, Pollard and Hunter.
Rico and Pollard, yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I think because you can go by committee, yeah, I think that you can bring Hunter in just to steal reps, right? And you're not looking for him to break off big runs, but just kind of wear on the defense a little bit. Because I mean, you still do have great weapons at pass catcher. Great weapons. CD being one of them. I think CD would have had a bigger game if you needed him to yesterday. I mean, the touchdown was get him on schedule, but I think he would have had a good game. So, all right, Joe. Let's get to a few questions and then I'll let you go. I saw a good one right here. Let's get to this super chat. Thank you guys for all the super chats. Keep them coming. What's up, Fuss and Joe? I hope you and your families are doing well. Thank you. Thank you for checking on our families, man. Shout out to you. Let's get ready and get healthy for the 49ers. Keep it simple. Red zone and just focus. Yeah. Joe, can you attack that one for me, buddy?
yeah, man. Shout out to A Lavelle, longtime fan of both of our channels. Yeah, man. Maybe that's what it is. You don't keep it simple. Don't over complicate it. You know what I mean? Don't be doing. I remember the worst play, and I swear, I think it was the first game, right? The tight end jet sweep. You can't be doing goofy stuff like that. Just stick to basic fundamentals. Run it down the throat. Do a fake. Maybe where you can have Dak Prescott. You know, do a fake, some RPO, something there, man. They got to keep it simple. Don't do any weird stuff. What really worked for them in the past, I'm surprised they haven't done this. Is remember when they would use an O lineman as a fullback, like Connor McGovern? I'm kind of surprised they full blown took that play out of their playbook. I haven't seen it at all. But that seemed to be effective, in short yardage situations. So
Yeah. Nah, yeah, I think what he said is spot on. Let's just keep it simple, stupid. Like, let's
yeah,
not do too much. Let's not let's not get cute. Let's keep it simple. Whatever the defense is giving you, take it. I saw somebody else. Coach Foots, and shout out to you, man. Coach Foots. This team has a scheming issue. McCarthy is too traditional with his personnel. Now, Ryan, I'm not mad at you there because everything that we see now is just a spinoff of like older schemes. So like all this orbit motion that we see, well, that's really just wing T is just expanded. Wing T old school football. All these different 13 personnel groupings. It's just single wing, but it's just expanded in some of the counters and all that. I think the problem is Ryan is knowing what to call when and finding a groove. I actually like McCarthy's play schemes and his designs, right? I love him. He's attacking the middle of the field, play actions hidden. I love when he's going tempo. It's in the red zone. I think the problem is they're out thinking themselves. So, like when you want to design a super extravagant play, sometimes it's as simple as, hey, let's just go lob to CD. Or let's just go play action and just attack the seams to Schoonmaker or to one of your tight ends, Fergie, whoever. So now, and you're and Ryan, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying, like, I really believe that it's just let's just keep it simple. And if that doesn't work, then cool. But down there in that red zone, bro, it is very hard to get cute and fancy because the field shrinks.
yeah.
So a defense can just keep their eyes on you because they have what? They have an extra defender. That's the sideline, especially those safeties. So that's just kind of my thoughts on that. Thank you guys so much for liking, sharing, and subscribing. Joe, where can they find you at, buddy?
Yeah, man. Shout out to the chat box. Everybody showed up to watch talk about some Cowboys football. You guys can find me on YouTube. Just look me up, Cowboys blog. Got it on the wall here too, cowboysblog.net. It'll take you to my page. And on Twitter, cowboysblognet, man. Hit me up. I'll give you a follow back.
Hey, all right. It's your boy Foots as always. Thank you guys for liking, sharing, and subscribing. Joe, you are literally the GOAT. I couldn't do this without you. We'll try to get back at you guys this week. This is a monster game, so we want to be prepared for it. So we'll have it covered all the way wall to wall. I will say this, in a little bit that I have seen of San Francisco, I found a few weaknesses, one on their line and then also their secondary. So I think that if we can figure out a way to attack their secondary and attack certain areas in their secondary, I think that we'll be fine. All right. It's your boy Foots as always. Thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing. Joe, we love you. That's right, April. Since 2016, Joe. April been with us since 2016, baby. Danny Savage is in. What's up, Danny? Danny, we love you as well. You are a draft guru. You're with us during the draft. That's right. That's a draft, baby. Yep. That's one of our draft children. All right, Danny. Much love to you. Peace.